Welcome everyone to this edition of Looking at Louisville. I'm Chaz.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
And we are here in the southwest part of Louisville, which is where I grew up, in my old stomping ground. And in fact, we are at a restaurant that people love called Mike Linnig, which is a staple not only in the South End, but in Louisville.
That's right. In fact, I didn't grow up in this area, but my grandparents did. And I remember coming here as a little girl and probably swinging on similar swings and peeking out the Ohio River. It's a great spot.
It's a great place to bring your family. The prices are great. The food is great. The ambiance is wonderful.
Amazing. I mean, really.
Let's talk about that. What did you get?
Oh, well, I had the broiled fish and green beans.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was. You ate some and some sliced tomatoes. It's still summer. Mark had the fried fish sandwich, which I tasted. You've got to have that as a staple out here. And you had
the grilled swordfish, and I had a salad. And we hit a big old mound of onion rings and hush puppies.
Oh, and I also had a hand-rolled oyster. I might have to walk all the way back down the Levy back to town just to burn off those calories.
Well, speaking of that, right over my shoulder here, we're definitely going to get a little walk in here.
We are.
What exactly is that over my shoulder?
Well, this is the Levy. There's a trail. There's also part of the bike path that's going to be the Louisville Loop when it's completed. And actually, this portion is 25 miles back towards downtown Louisville. You'll end up at Waterfront Park.
Yeah, Mark did that.
He
round
biked.
trip,
It's 25 miles out, 25 miles back. Great, sort of like playing golf at the turn. You stop for your hot dog, you stop here for a fish sandwich at Mike Linnig's. We're right here on the Ohio River. I took a little walk earlier. I'm going to take you down there. It's a gorgeous vantage point. It really is. It's just completely unspoiled. It harkens back to the days when Mike Linnig's first opened. This was just a working family farm. It was a fruit stand, and you really feel like you're back in time.
And it opened up in 1925. Right?
That's right.
Well, now, outside of the great food and the levee and the trail and the bike riding, what else are we going to do in the South End?
We're going to check out Riverside, the Farnsley-Moremen Landing, a very similar setting, a similar vista of the Ohio River. It's a historic home on 300 acres of farmland, and we'll learn more about it when we go visit.
Let's go check it out.
All right.
Now, tell me a little bit of a story about this, because I know that the superhighway back then in the 1830s and 40s when this was built, that was the superhighway, the Ohio River.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about the house and what that meant to have a house on the river.
Well, the Farnsley-Moremen house dates to about 1837, and this was the center of a large plantation with an active riverboat landing, and they made a very successful living by trading goods to passing riverboats. As you said, that was the highway to the world. The first floor tells the story of Gabriel Farnsley, the builder, and his life here, and it's the 1830s and 40s downstairs. When you go upstairs, you travel to the 1880s when the Moremen family, the second major owners, lived here. So it's interesting to compare and contrast their lives here, but what remains constant is an important relationship to the river.
We left the main house, and now we're in what they call the kitchen.
Right, this is a detached kitchen.
Detached kitchen, so you actually had to leave the house. So if it's bitterly hot or freezing cold, they would have to come out and make their food out here. Now, this is a reproduction of what it was, correct?
Right. This is based on archaeological investigation. We worked here 3 years with professional archaeologists, discovered the kitchen location, learned lots about it from the artifacts that were still here, and we're able to reproduce what we think is a really accurate copy of the original kitchen.
Now, on the kitchen floor, they have an area that you can actually lift up to go to a pit cellar, and this is what, oh my gosh, that's heavy. This is what you would actually call back then something that would keep the food fresh. I guess you could say like a version of a refrigerator of some sorts to keep the food edible and usable. And I tell you what, it's got to be safe as well, because this door is extremely heavy.
At George Washington's home, Mount Vernon, it is just laid out so similar to this, very stately, overlooking like the Ohio, or not the Ohio River, but a river vista, and the detached kitchen. It's almost like this is Louisville's miniature Mount Vernon.
Right, it truly is. We were just talking about how peaceful and quiet and serene it was. So I can imagine back in the 1800s how relaxing and peaceful it was.
Can you just imagine watching? And this was like, they said this was like I-65.
Yeah.
This was the main transportation corridor, so I can picture sitting in a rocking chair with my mint julep maybe at the time, and just watching the world go by. Literally, this was their
And then someone would come by and says, hey, I got some merchandise for you, or some stuff. You want to trade?
Right.
And next thing you know, you're trading goods.
Sure, you want to spend the night?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Now, not only is this attraction available for everyone to see here in the southwest part of Louisville, but there's many more attractions. In fact, you can get a brochure, right, with what, 20 attractions in the
Right, I
south
think
end?
we're posting the website where you can get that right now. A few worth mentioning, the Little Loom House, which is a great little jewel in southwest Louisville. It covers textiles and weavings, and it was the first place that the Happy Birthday song was
where it was born.
performed. And then this fall, I'm going to take the kids for sure out to Jefferson Memorial Forest. It is the largest municipal urban forest in America.
Really?
And right here in our city, out here in southwest Louisville as well.
And of course, we have the infamous Waverly Hills Sanatorium, which has become a huge attraction
Still
on
want
many.
to go. You
We have
still
yet
want
to
do
be
that
there.
podcast. Maybe we'll look to doing that this fall
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
Lots to do.
every time I turn on the TV, there's celebrity shows going out there and everything, so it's something that we definitely need to hit on.
But I think definitely for visitors, this part of town is often overlooked. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's also a great bike ride, as we learned from Mark. If you're staying in the downtown area and you can rent a bike, or if you own a bike, it's 25 miles out. Stop at Mike Linnig's for fish and some drinks, and take in the Farnsley-Moremen house.
For more information about this podcast, please send us an email, podcast@golouisville.com, or of course, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us everywhere pretty much nowadays.
That's right.
So, as always,
You're looking at Louisville.
see you real soon. Well, Stacy, doesn't get any better than ending the tour and being able to sit back in rocking chairs with the Ohio River going behind us quietly.
It does get better. We have a mint julep, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Several after that. We could take the bottle that was inside there.